They're going to rush 4 linemen, 3 linebackers, and a safety against this team. I tell you, Ferragamo's going to be rushed terribly much today.
But what about Eric Dickerson? He's such a great back, Jimmy.
Well, okay. I'm glad you brought that up because let's not forget they've lost 7 games, right? And Dickerson has carried the ball over 400 times. Brent, he's got a bad shoulder. It's tender today. He will fumble at least twice. Dallas will recover and will win 31-17.
Jimmy, which player in the NFL now is using the United States Football League to get more money?
Well, a fellow by the name of Lawrence Taylor. But, you know, that Trump has signed him for 1989 for another, you know, publicity gimmick that they were going to break the story on Super Bowl Sunday. So we're just going to tell him that we know all about it already, and George Young is going to keep Lawrence Taylor. What about it?
Sounds good to me, Jimmy. The NFL Today will continue on CBS in just a moment. George rejoining our crew later in the playoffs. In the meantime, she's been keeping her eye on the NFL. And Phyllis, I wonder if you have any predictions.
Brent, I thought you'd never ask. Hello, everyone. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas. And thank you for the Cabbage Patch doll you sent to our new daughter, Pamela. I'd like for you to meet her now. This is Pamela Ashley. She'll be 1 month old tomorrow. And now to get on with business. The Brown family here in Kentucky have been watching all the games since I left the show to have Pamela. And here to tell you about the team that we think is going to go all the way is my 3.5-year-old Lincoln. Lincoln, who's that team? The Dallas Cowboys. That's right. So to Brent, Irv, Chauncey, and Jimmy, I want to wish you a very healthy and happy New Year. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye-bye, everyone.
What a surprise. Phyllis is picking the Cowboys. Who would have guessed that out there, right? Isn't anybody going to stand up for the Rams? I think the Rams are going to play a heck of a game down there this afternoon. No heaters down there. And by the way, they're just about to get introduced now. John Robinson of the offensive unit. We're going to go down and see what kind of a reception they get. It's going to be as frigid as the weather when the Rams finally come out. For a while, the Rams said they'd have the defense introduced. And then, a short time ago, they said it was going to be the offense. It is now 28 degrees, and Coach Robinson leads some of the Rams out, and you can see the members of the offense are now being introduced as the Dallas Cowboys get ready to get introduced too, and they come out on the field, and we are just minutes away now from the kickoff. And of course, keep in mind the significance as far as the other teams are concerned in the NFC. If the Cowboys win, then Detroit goes to Washington next Saturday. That would be the first of 4 games. But if the Rams win it, then, of course, they would have to play in the first game, and they have to play in Washington, and that would be next week. So we'll see at halftime when Dick Vermeil analyzes what's going on. Jimmy the Greek will be back, too. We hope you've enjoyed the NFL Today on CBS.
It was 4 years ago that Vince Ferragamo led the Los Angeles Rams to their last playoff victory over Dallas. And he did it the hard way. Slightly more than 2 minutes to play when he hit Billy Waddy with a 50-yard pass for the victory here in Texas Stadium. Those same 4 years ago, same stadium, Southern Methodist introduced a freshman running back named Eric Dickerson, who dreamed of turning the Mustangs into a national power. A power like John Robinson's USC Trojans, for instance. In this same year, 1979, they went unbeaten and on to the Rose Bowl. Who would have guessed that 4 years later, Robinson, Ferragamo, and Dickerson would come together to lead the Rams back into the playoffs? Meanwhile, the Cowboys story involves the more immediate past. 2 weeks ago, a botched play on a 4th and 1 sent Coach Tom Landry into a fury and started Dallas toward a crushing defeat by Washington. Then last Monday in San Francisco, the Cowboys turned the ball over 5 times in a shelling by the 49ers. Will Dallas return to form today, or will the season end early in the chill of Texas Stadium?
CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today, an NFC playoff game. The Los Angeles Rams against the Dallas Cowboys.
Live from from Texas Stadium, where it is bone-chilling cold for this wild card game between the Rams and the Dallas Cowboys. The blackout was lifted thanks to a couple of local businessmen who purchased the remaining tickets. And those fans who are here, and there are a lot of them who are not here, but those who are here are dressed for the cold. It's 27 degrees, wind southeast 15 miles an hour. And in the forecast, a chance of rain and snow and sleet and just about everything unpleasant you can think of. But on a more pleasant note, I'm Pat Summerall. Good afternoon, and we all from CBS Sports wish you and hope you had a very happy Christmas. John Madden is with me as usual, and John, in talking to Tom Landry, the Dallas coach, last night, it seemed to me that I have never seen him with such a lingering memory as the one about the defeat by Washington 2 weeks ago.
Of course, you know, that was 2 weeks ago, and he's still talking about that game, and he's using words like devastating and shocked. And I think what it did, it really emotionally drained this Dallas Cowboy team. Because that day, they lost a lot more in a football game. They lost the division. They lost the bye this week. But probably more than anything, I think they lost a lot of their confidence. And the Cowboys have taken a lot of heat the last 2 weeks, and Danny White has taken a lot of heat. They had a team meeting this week. They wanted to change that around. And I think here in the pregame warm-up, we can see the reception that Danny White got.
Of course, both these teams depend so heavily on key running backs, Tony Dorsett of Dallas and Eric Dickerson, the great rookie from SMU, with the Rams. I think, and I know you think, that it's the key to the whole thing will be who can run the ball.
It could be. You know, we always talk about the passing in the game today, but again, the running has so much to do with it. I've always felt that the Cowboys, when they can run the football, that they really have confidence. Conversely, when they can't run, they lose a lot more than just not being able to run. They lose all their confidence. They don't call the same type of plays, because when you can run, you create a lot of great situations. You have that short yardage thing where you can either pass or run. You have the option. You control the ball longer. You keep the ball. You let your defense stand on the sideline to get rested, refreshed, and ready to go. And I really feel that if the Cowboys are going to get back, they have to get their confidence. The way they get their confidence is by running or rushing the football, and maybe the team that runs the best today may be the team that wins it all.
And it would seem that the Rams will have the first opportunity to run it, as they have won the toss and chosen to kick off. It is cold. Not to belabor the point, but it is very cold at Texas Stadium. Heaters on both sidelines. As you know, the NFL rule is that if one team has heaters, both teams must have heaters, or at least they must be available. And they are available both on the Ram bench and Dallas. John Misko, the Ram punter. Warming his hands, and Raphael Septien. Henry Ellard. Dangerous, ever dangerous kick returner. Mike Gooman and Barry Redden flank him. And Raphael Septien will kick it off for the Cowboys as we start the wild card game to see who advances in the Super Bowl tournament. It is Mike Gooman. Fumbles it. Can't find the handle. Wearing gloves. Finally does find the handle. Inside the 15. Ron Fellows, the first Cowboy to hit him. The lineups. The Rams offensive backs and receivers. Ferragamo, the quarterback. Eric Dickerson, Mike Gooman, the backs. Gooman, the U-back. Preston Denard, George Farmer wide, and the tight end is Mike Barber. Bill Bain, Kent Hill, Doug Smith, Dennis Harrah, and Jackie Slater up front. The Dallas defense will check out after they run this first play. 1st and 10. Rams a long time in the huddle. Barber and Farmer. This is David Hill now, who is in motion. It is outside to George Farmer. Bill Bates up to make the hit along with Everson Walls. The Rams had said that they were going to throw on first down, and they started that way. The Dallas defense, Ed Jones, Dutton, Randy White, Harvey Martin up front. 3 linebackers, Hegman, Brunig, and Anthony Dickerson. Not Eric, no relation. In the secondary, Walls, Thurman, Bates, and Downs. Rams got about 6, so make it 2nd and 4 from their own 21. Vince Ferragamo had a bad split finger on his throwing hand, but he said last night it's just about healed and causes him no discomfort. Denard swung in motion. Ferragamo gets it to Preston Denard, and Denard will get a Ram first down. He goes out of bounds at about the 28. Bruni, the middle linebacker, chased him out. Here is Ferragamo's hand, which caused him a great deal of discomfort earlier.
Well, we can see where it is. It's in the webbing on his throwing hand between the little finger and the next finger end. And where he has a problem is not gripping or throwing the ball, but the pounding of taking the snap from the center.
He said it also had bothered his shoulder because of the way he had to throw in an unusual motion. So right now, that was his biggest problem. The lone setback is Dickerson. Hasn't handled it yet. Now he has. Dickerson for maybe two. Ed Jones comes swirling down to make the initial contact. Dickerson got a couple.
Old Ed Jones played that cutback, didn't he? That's the thing. You know, with the one back, Eric Dickerson is going to start one way and then come the other. Now watch number 72, Ed Too Tall Jones. When the ball starts away from him, you have to keep position on it. You see, wait for it to come back with a guy like Eric Dickerson.
He is one of the best at that. He and Dorsett both. George Farmer split wide to the right. Henry Ellard out to the left side. Ferragamo back with Dickerson protected. Ferragamo has Barber. Penalty marker down upfield, or else one of the officials just lost a hat. Bill Bates put the hit on Barber. 11-yard gain. Watch that hit.
Yeah, the official just threw his hat because the outside receiver went out of bounds. Now, Bill Bates is starting today in place of Dexter Clinkscale because Tom Landry said, we aren't tackling well in the secondary. I need some tacklers in there. And he says, I know Bates will do it. Watch him 40. Boom, just square right there. Bang! Put him right down on his back. I'll tell you, that Bill Bates, he'll come around and he'll find where the ball is and put some leather to leather and paint to paint.
Paint to paint, whatever it takes. That was Mike Hegman, the other tackler. But the Rams have another first down. Ferragamo gives to Dickerson, and Dickerson breaks into the clear. Michael Downs takes him out of bounds as they get inside the Dallas 40. 19 yards for Eric Dickerson.
I'll tell you, this guy is something, isn't he? I'll tell you, he's as big as a fullback and as quick as a halfback. Watch these quick moves. He starts in there off Bruning. He just bounced out, takes it to the outside, gets Bates caught up in there, takes the thing, cuts back, goes to the sideline. He's still going. I'll tell you, that was some kind of move. I mean, up, in, out, back up, the whole deal there.
This, of course, is where he played his collegiate football for the Mustangs of SMU. Two tight end offense now as Dallas shows blitz. Ferragamo pump fake looking deep for Farmer. Penalty markers down, and Farmer is out of bounds.
That's going to be against Everson Walls, too. I think it was an out and up, and as Farmer was making his out move, I think we'll see that Walls may have grabbed him or put a hand on him. Now, once you get beyond 5 yards, you can't touch him. Now, watch. Everson Walls is the outside defender. Here's Farmer. You see, he starts that out move, then he starts up. Now, watch right there. You see the right arm? And it goes right on Farmer's left shoulder and down his arm. Fisher called that. Boom, 5 yards. That won't be pass interference.
Referee is Gordon McCarter. The public address announcement system is out of order because of the extreme cold. All kind of pipes have burst overnight at Texas Stadium as you look at John Robinson. The penalty against Everson Walls gives the Rams the first down at the Dallas 24.
What they're talking about here is whether the ball was in the air. If the ball was in the air when he committed the foul, then it's interference. If it was before the ball was thrown, then it would be defensive holding. See, now, this is an all-star officiating crew. In other words, they didn't work together as a team. These are the people that got votes and got to be in these playoff games.
It's incomplete. We will reestablish the previous spot and then assess the 5-yard penalty.
Let's have another look at that last play and see.
Let's look at it right here. Now, again, if the ball's in the air, you see the out move, then the up move, and then here's the penalty right there. I think it's very close.
I think so.
Because you see, the thing is they can't say.
For illegal contact, number 24, defense, or 5 yards automatic first down.
The automatic first down gives the Rams a first down at the Dallas 33, and obviously they ruled that it was not in the air. He had not thrown it. It was close.
Well, either that it was not in the air or the ball was out of bounds and an uncatchable ball. They do that sometimes, too.
Gooman and Dickerson behind Ferragamo. That's Gooman on the flank and in motion now. Pitch back to Dickerson, looking for some room up and finds some. Eric Dickerson, another Ram, first down inside the Dallas 20. As you said, big as a fullback, moves like a halfback.
And I'll tell you, watch the pursuit here of the Dallas defense. Now, they think Dickerson's going wide to the left. Look, it's a pitch. Now, watch, they'll all run there. Watch it, just stay with the blocks. Now, watch, there's 5 guys right there, and he cuts right back against that grain. There's John Dutton, who didn't get back for the cutback. You see all those 5 guys? They just rode him out, and he cut right up in that seam there.
Dickerson, 3 carries, 37 yards already. First down Rams at the Dallas 18. That's Denard in motion this time, and Ferragamo backpedals under pressure from Randy White. Touchdown, David Hill. Ferragamo with a rush by White, still hung in there and got rid of it and got the Rams on the board.
I think the Cowboys were in one of those coverages where the middle linebacker, Bob Brunick, was isolated on the tight end, David Hill. I think they were so concerned with the wide receivers. Now watch Brunick here. He's 53. He's going to end up covering David Hill. You see, Hill comes inside. He starts there with him. Now watch as the ball comes up. The closest guy is a middle linebacker, 53, Bob Brunick. That's a mismatch. It was a great read by Ferragamo.
That's a pretty tough job to ask the middle linebacker. Nolan Cromwell will hold. Lansford will try for the extra point. Rams win at 85 yards. Extra point's good. And they lead 7-0. Cold turf at Texas Stadium.
Let's see if we can see that touchdown here. Now what happens is David Hill is here. He's going to take an inside release, and that puts him on the linebacker, Brunick. Then he's going to come and run a corner. Brunick starts back here. He loses right in here. See where I start to scribble there. Now watch it. The inside release puts Brunick on him. You see the motion starts out. The secondary is going to cover the outside guy. Look, here comes Hill. Brunick's waiting for him, but he runs deep, and he runs a corner on him. Brunick said, whoa, I need help deep, man.
That play looks familiar. The Ram drive, and it was a dandy. 7 plays, 85 yards they went.
You know, the thing that impressed me about that drive is they had 5 first downs. They ran 3 times on first down and passed 2 times.
Ron Fellows from the Dallas 13 behind the block of Allen. Fellows still on his feet. To about the 30, a good return. Mike Williams made the stop. The Dallas offense. Danny White, Dorsett, Springs, Drew Pearson, and Tony Hill, the wide receivers. Donovan Scott, Rafferty, Richards, Cooper, and Cosby, the tight end. That's the way they start, but they don't necessarily stay that way. There is Danny White. Those figures are certainly more than respectable, but he's been under heavy criticism here in Dallas. But as John Madden pointed out at the top of the broadcast, his teammates certainly came to show their appreciation of what he's done. Very emotional scene as the game began. This is Drew Pearson in motion, and this is Ron Springs for a couple. Right straight ahead. Youngblood and Meisner and Doss. The front 3 for the Rams, and there they are. And they all converge to make that tackle. 4 linebackers, Owens, George Andrews on the outside, Collins and Carl Eckern in the middle. And the secondary, Harris and Irvin the corners, Cromwell and Johnson, who have swapped positions, the 2 safety men. Pickup of maybe 3 for Springs, and White brings the Cowboys out. Tony Hill out wide, along with Drew Pearson, and Dorsett goes back deep. Hand off to Dorsett. He squirms or tries to the outside. It's Greg Meisner, the nose tackle, who comes from nowhere to cut him down.
I'll tell you, the thing you have to do is you can't let that nose tackle, the guy that lines up over the center, you can't let him get penetration and run the ball. When that guy can get in the backfield, that's the most important matchup to run the ball, is the center against the nose tackle.
Now in what the Rams think is a passing situation, and it would seem so, they come in with Gary Jeter to help rush the passer, and they go with 4 down linemen. Man over the center.
Jack Youngblood loves this defense.
Gives him room to roam. Brooks Johnson makes a juggling catch and does well to hang on. Took a jolt in the back, and Butch might be shaken a bit. George Andrews applied the massage.
I'll tell
Johnson
you, that
still
was
down.
something.
Yeah.
He got him right there. You know, that's one part of the body that's not protected, because he catches him above the hip pads and below the shoulder pads. Watch here, as is exposed right there. You see, he caught him right in that lower back thing and just bent Butch away that he doesn't go.
Butch tried to get back to his feet and then realized he had been hit harder than perhaps he thought. Rams 7, Dallas nothing. We're in the first quarter. Danny White will be punting for Dallas. Henry Ellard is back for the Rams. Out of bounds at about the Ram 30. Danny White did not begin the year punting, as you know, and has had a tough time getting back into the groove. That one's 32 yards. Vince Ferragamo in the first drive, 4 out of 4. He and Eric Dickerson displaying first-class wares in that first drive. Dickerson with Gooman, and now Dickerson moves back deep. Ferragamo will throw on first down again. Has a man open, it's Dickerson. And out there with him to take him down is Anthony Dickerson.
Dickerson on Dickerson. That's one of the things that John Robinson wanted to do on first down, is mix up run and pass. Not run every first down, but conversely don't pass every first down. And he's really started out about as even as you can get. On first down, he's passed 3 times, and he's run the ball 3 times. The other thing he says is, by passing, he said, I want to get Eric Dickerson involved in the passing game, because that's as good as a run, and that was. I mean, you know, he ends up 2nd and 2.
Line of scrimmage is the Ram 42. Los Angeles leading 7-0 over Dallas. Ferragamo back to Dickerson. Dickerson breaks 1 tackle, breaks another, and gets the first down outside the 45. Dennis Thurman on the bottom.
You know what I liked about Eric Dickerson when we were talking to him last night is he says that, you know, that when the run comes to an end, and a running back always knows when it's coming to the end, he tries to finish it off. He said he tries to punish the defender. He said he knows that that tackler is going to try and, you know, punish him. So he just takes one side of him and really, you know, gives him a whap. And that makes sense. You know, just because you play offense, that doesn't mean you have to take all that stuff from those defensive guys, those wild guys.
Those are instinctive things that he's talking about. Barry Redden has replaced Dickerson now. First down Rams, their own 47. This is Redden. Redden will get a couple, and that's all. Shy of midfield. Too tall. Jones and John Dutton converge.
See, and that was the backside. You know, they had the onside, you know, defended pretty well, and then the backside just closed everything down, so Redden couldn't cut back.
Pretty good average. There's Tom Landry, ready for the weather. Second down for the Rams. Barry Redden remains the running back. Farmer in motion. Ferragamo will try to throw. Incomplete, intended for Preston Denard. Back there with him, Everson Walls. No flags this time. Like they've made up their mind that that's the place to work.
I'll tell you, they're going to work deep in this game, you know, and I think it's one of those things that you want to do, but you don't do all the time, because when you throw the ball up the field deep like that, it's the second time in the first quarter the Rams run, you really stretch the defense. You make them think deep, get them back off, then it's easier to work underneath them, to work in front of them, and to run the ball. Get them stretched. Get them back. Loosen them up.
Now it's 3rd and 8. And Dallas has their extra defensive backs in the game. The Rams have Dickerson back in the game. 3rd down and 8 from their own 49 for the Rams. Here comes the blitz. Ferragamo ducks one, but he can't get away from Don Smerrick. It was Clinkscale who was there first, and it's a loss of 8. Bill Bates also involved. Clinkscale, number 47, was the first man on the scene. Ferragamo ducked under him.
First guy, and they didn't get him. He's going to come right in this hole here. Now watch him. They block, and here comes Clinkscale. They don't block him. Watch him. Right here. You see him? He hits that hole perfectly. See, they didn't pick him up. He went high. Ferragamo ducked under, but they got him.
Gary Allen is back deep for Dallas. Misko's punt comes off the side of his foot. They let it bounce. Get away from it. And the Rams surround it at about the Dallas 21-yard line. That's where they've done it. The Cowboys will take over with 7 minutes and 6 seconds left to play in the first quarter. The Rams 7, Dallas nothing. 37-yard punt by Misko. Last Dallas blitz, which the offensive line of the Rams had nobody assigned to Clinkscale.
They're talking about it. That coach, that was Hudson Houck down there, the offensive line coach. He was doing a lot of diagrams saying, you got him, you got him, you got him, you take him, and someone has to block Clinkscale when he comes from there.
Wilson was the man in motion. This is Tony Dorsett. Straight ahead for maybe 3, no more than that. Jim Collins and Carl Eckern, the 2 middle linebackers, converge to stop Dorsett. Dallas operating from their own 25-yard line, trailing Los Angeles 7-0.
I really feel that thing, that when the Cowboys can run, you can just feel the team exude confidence. And conversely, when they can't run, you just feel the whole team lose confidence.
John Robinson very much aware of that. Cowboys have Doug Cosby for a first down at about their own 34-yard line. Collins on the tackle.
Well, here's what we're talking about. You know, in the 4 games that the Cowboys lost, they rushed for under 100 yards per game. That's not Tony Dorsett. That's combined rushing. All the other games that they won, they rushed for more than 100 yards. But the one thing is common in their 4 losses is rushing less than 100 yards.
Here's what it is right now. Rams 44, Dallas 5.
That's a little slow start, isn't it?
A little bit. That's their first down, in fact. This is Ron Springs cutting back over the right side for not much. Collins again on the tackle. Maybe Springs got a yard.
Oh, Jack Youngblood is some story on that defense, really isn't he? In his 13th year, and he played all 12 of those years as a defensive end in a 4-man line, and John Robinson came in. They put in a 3-man line, and Jack said, oh, this is going to hurt, but I'll do it.
He said, well, the first game of the year, he said, I asked him how he thought of what he felt about the 3-4. He said, I hate it, but he's played it well.
Because he has to get squared up on that tackle.
2nd down and 9 from the 35. White back to throw. In the middle again, it was Ron Springs who can't find the handle. Carl Eckern, closest Ram defender there is Dick Nolan, ex-Saint and 49er head coach, along with Tom Landry.
3rd down, 9.
You know, in this 3rd down situation, Tom Landry calls the play or the formation by a color. And he has a red formation, a blue formation, a green formation. So all those players that are involved in that, that's all he has to say is green. See, and in this situation, he has 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers. That's
Dallas.
probably blue or something, say.
Probably. Dallas operating out of the spread. The Rams on a blitz. It is caught by Tony Hill. Tony Hill still fighting. It is a Dallas first down right at midfield. Eric Harris, the defender. 15-yard gain. Here is Tom Landry with that message, and look at those cards. The reason Dick Nolan also has a card is he does a double check on what Tom calls.
Tony Hill made a nice move. You see what he did to Eric Harris there right at the end. He gave him those 3 quick steps, making him think he was going deep just before he made that out cut.
Tony Hill missed early part of the season because of a foot injury, but it's come on strong. 1st and 10. Dallas right at midfield. Here's Dorsett. Dorsett gets only back to the line of scrimmage. Greg Meisner and Youngblood on the bottom of the pile.
Still say you have to block the nose tackle on that, and when they're running inside, they're not getting that guy blocked.
There's Greg Meisner playing in front of Rafferty, and of course Kurt Peterson not able to play. Normally he would have started at right guard. Howard Richards in his place. Dallas rushing comparison just to amplify what you were talking about before.
Had trouble those last 2 games against the Redskins and the 49ers.
Here is Danny White trying to set up a screen and does to Ron Springs, but he's going nowhere. Again, it's Meisner over quickly. Have to control that man. They haven't done it so far.
You know, that's a good example of the things we're talking about. Is on the inside run, this nose tackle, 69 there, Meisner, has to take care of the inside run. The other thing he does on a passing situation, he has drawn, screen, and those types of things. Do you see him there? He just pushed the center down and came right down the line and got Ron Springs at the line of scrimmage.
Greg Meisner, one of many players who played at Pitt.
You gotta like nose tackles from Pitt. You know, I mean, guy in the Pitt from Pitt, Meisner, that stuff kind of goes together.
Here's White. Has time, has Springs, and he has it go right through his hand. You could see him look just before the ball got there. Take a glance to see where the people were.
That's the second one that he dropped on this drive, where he looked like he was looking to see where the people were.
Danny White back to punt, or will be, as the Cowboys get it to midfield, but no farther. Rams playing good rushing defense. 2:42 left first quarter. Henry Ellard back along with Johnny Johnson. Back deep for the Rams. Danny White to kick for Dallas.
This guy's dangerous, this Ellard.
Much better kick. Down quickly are the Cowboys, but Johnny Johnson gets away from the first man down. Bruce Hutter knocked him out of bounds. 40-yard punt, 6-yard return, so the net is 34. Rams still leading 7-0. 2:33 left first quarter. Rams 7, Dallas nothing first quarter. 2:33 remaining. Rams have it their own 17-yard line. They took the opening kickoff and went 85 yards for the touchdown. Ferragamo to David Hill got it done. Denard in motion. Cowboys flex. Ed Jones all over Ferragamo. All over him. Ferragamo no chance.
I think Ed Jones said, hey, you guys want to pass on first down? Okay, I'm going to rush the passer. The heck with that flex stuff. I'm going to get in my stance and just take off up the field. Now, that was a play pass, you see, and what the Rams were trying to do was give run-tight blocking. Now, that's okay, but you have to get too tall and those guys block. See, watch this here. We see the tackle pull. You see they're trying to influence. Jackie Slater pulls away from too tall, but no one got him.
Second. Here's Ferragamo with time this time. Has Henry Ellard down the middle and gets the Rams out of the hole. Bill Bates on the tackle, but it's a Ram first down. 22-yard pickup.
I'll tell you, you have to like a quarterback like Ferragamo can take that loss on first down, have long yardage, and just come back and find another guy. Here's Ellard. He's going there against Everson Walls. Walls looked like he just kind of slowed up or stopped there when Ellard took that inside move. That old Bill Bates has to come in and make the tackle.
Right. I think Walls was certain he had some inside help.
Yeah, but still, when the guy goes inside, you can follow him or do something.
First down. Go with two tight ends. They now go to Dickerson. Randy White takes him down after about a yard.
I'll tell you what I'm impressed with is the mixture that the Rams offense is giving. The mixture of run and pass and inside and outside and those types of things. And of course, that's the guy who makes the plan, John Robinson.
Rams in the playoffs in his first year. They finished 9-7.
He and I grew up together in Daly City. We were kids together. Couldn't ride a bike.
What a nice guy.
Yeah, he sure is. He really is.
But couldn't ride a bike. Ferragamo gets it down the middle, almost picked off. Bob Brunig was back deep. Ferragamo had nobody open. Intended for Mike Barber.
I think it was that same type of coverage. You know, when you double cover to the outside, you see, then the safeties go to the outside. Well, what happens is your middle linebacker really has the deep middle. Now, Brunig on this one does a good job, but I think the Rams had the wrong pattern there. They have two tight ends in there, and they probably said tight end post. Both of them ran into the same area. Can't do that.
That brings up 3rd and 8 with 34 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Rams leading Dallas 7-0. They're showing blitz. It's not a blitz. Here's Randy White around behind. Knocked away at the last minute. Henry Ellard, the intended receiver. Ron Fellows was a defender and timed that slap perfectly.
We can see Fellows here. He's running. They're in a man-to-man. They have the 4-0 defense. He's the outside guy. Now he sees a ball thrown, and he gets that left arm in there. That was a great job of just reaching, extending, getting that arm in there and hitting the ball and not hitting the receiver before the ball got there.
Gary Allen back deep. Fisco, the kicker, slides one off the side of his foot. Allen fields it. Dodges one man. Gets back to about the Dallas 31-yard line. 20 seconds left to play in the first quarter. 40-yard punt.
You know, last week the Rams lost their snapper on punts and field goals, Doug Barnett. And they brought in this guy here, 63, Mike McDonald. He hasn't played. He played for John Robinson in college, and he hasn't played in 4 or 5 years. He was doing nothing, and he needed a snapper. And John says, "Remember that guy that played for us at SC back in the late 70s?" He said, "Mike McDonald." He said, "Call him up, see if he wants to play." He says, "Yeah, heck, I'll play."
20 seconds remaining first quarter. Did a pretty good job, McDonald did.
Yeah, he got down there.
Involved in the tackle. Flags all over the place. A lot of people jump offside. Pat Donovan appeared to be the first one, the Dallas left tackle.
They called him, and they told him that, and he told his wife and friends.
Ball start. Number 67, offense.
He says, "I got some good news and some bad news." He said, "The good news is that I'm playing for the Rams. The bad news is I won't be home for Christmas."
But we will get a paycheck. Eric Dickerson, remember in the first game of the year, the Rams played the Giants. He had some problems on the artificial surface with a turf toe, and that's still bothering him. 20 seconds left to play first quarter. Rams 7, Cowboys nothing. They need 15. Dorsett for about 7. His longest gain of the day by far. Johnny Johnson, the safety man, brought him down. Here comes Drew Pearson coming in. Let's check out the blocking that last play.
Let's watch this. The off tackle pull. Pat Donovan pulls. Let's see if we can see it. You see the tackle here. He's going to pull, and it's a trap type block. You see 67 pulls. He traps Youngblood. Dorsett is right in behind him, and he picks up 7 yards.
So that's the end of the first quarter. They'll change ends. The Rams still lead by a touchdown. In the second quarter at Texas Stadium with the Rams leading Dallas 7-0. Cold Texas Stadium. They're talking about snow and ice and sleet later on today. Andy White back to throw. Gets it out to Cosby. Cosby outside the 40. Very near a Dallas first down. Cut down by Reggie Doss.
Maybe the Cowboys are thinking the same thing. You know, we're not getting that running going. Let's try and loosen them up by throwing some on first down. Now, Danny White's favorite receiver probably is Doug Cosby because he's big. He can always find him. Look, he has a little move in there. See him put that stop, plant, up, back. Pretty nice. That ball sure does draw a crowd.
Doesn't it, though? They'll measure and see if Cosby got the first down. Doug had been bothered earlier this year by a bruised heel.
Well, he was telling us the other day that it's not really going to get healed until March.
I don't know how he knows that, but that's a long time.
Well, they probably say that the only way it's going to heal is with 2 months of rest, figuring that they'll be off no matter what happens. They'll be off in February, and in March you'll start to feel better.
He has developed into an excellent tight end.
I think they told him that in November, though. You know, that's tough. You know, like, you know, it's not like said, well, it'll be better tomorrow or in a couple of days. You know, he said, well, it'll be better in March of '85.
White on first down to Tony Hill. Tony swings for another Dallas first down in Ram territory. Eric Harris on the stop. Tom Landry alternating his wide receivers to get the plays in.
He used to do that with his guards, but Kurt Peterson is out of this game, so Howard Richards is starting at right guard, and he only has the 2 guards, Herbert Scott and Howard Richards. So now he has to do it with the wide receivers or anyone he can find there on the sideline. But it could be a running back, just like Dorsett. It could be Ron Springs on the next play, for example.
Or it could be tight ends. Speaking of which, he has 2 in the game now, Billy Joe Dupree and Cosby. And they both back off the line. Dorsett moves, now Dupree moves back up. They hand to Dorsett, who stopped at the line of scrimmage, trying to get away from Mel Owens and George Andrews, and hesitated just long enough for the rest of the Ram defense to get there, and he got only a couple. Ram injured on the play. It's like Leroy Irvin.
Yeah, it is Leroy Irvin. George Andrews made a nice play on that. He was the outside linebacker, and he came on a blitz, and he got in the backfield before Dorsett could do anything.
Rams still lead 7-0. Number 47 is Leroy Irvin, who came off after he was shaken up a little bit earlier, and he is out now. Vince Newsom has taken his place, number 22.
Well, what they did is they put Newsom in for Johnny Johnson, and they put Johnny Johnson, the weak safety, out at the corner.
So he's looking at Doug Cosby out of your picture right now. White fakes one way, goes the other way. Intended for Dorsett. Danny White under pressure, and that one would not have gone anywhere as Jim Collins reacted quickly.
That was a double screen, and they had both sides of it covered. They had a screen to the left. Danny White looked and faked over there, then a screen to the right, and the Rams had to smell that, had both sides of it covered.
Now Jeter comes in again as the Rams will go with 4 down linemen.
And they want to put a guy over the center. John Robinson was saying that they like to get someone over the center to passing down, although they're not doing it on this play.
They have Jeter on the left. They had a stunt going, that's why. Here comes Jeter. That's the first sack of Danny White. They had a stunt very similar to what Washington did to them 2 weeks ago, and they didn't pick it up.
I'll tell you, they really have trouble with that stunt. It's where the end and tackle cross. Now, let's see if we can see it, because they did have trouble with the same thing. Watch what it is. The end from here will come to the inside. Jeter, who makes the sack, he goes around here. See, they got that cross. See how the cross works here? And then he comes in and gets him. Now watch him. You see the end starts inside right there. Jeter comes from the outside, and it's the old crossing thing, and the Cowboys really have trouble with that stunt.
They really do. Reggie Doss did a good job to occupy 2 men. This is Danny White punting. And Johnny Johnson feels it. Down quickly to Cowboys. Jeff Roars, number 50. He was the first man down, along with Bruce Huther. 30-yard punt. 2-yard return, 28-yard. That's Rams still lead. Next Friday on CBS Sports, college football and college basketball action. Florida State against North Carolina in the Peach Bowl. And late night college basketball as Patrick Ewing will lead Georgetown against the Runnin' Rebels of Nevada, Las Vegas. It's all Friday here on CBS Sports. At the moment, it's the Rams 7, the Cowboys nothing. Los Angeles first down at their own 30. Eric Dickerson, the lone setback, as he will be most of the day behind Ferragamo. That was David Hill in motion. Ferragamo intended for Preston Denard. Denard was out of bounds, tried to make the one-handed grab, but couldn't hang on. Dennis Thurman back there with him.
I'll tell you, the Rams, again, have really had good mixture. That was another first down pass. But look at this. They've had 6 running plays, and they've had 10 passing plays. That's pretty good mixture. I don't think that either one is the answer. I don't think you can run all the time or pass all the time. But I think you have to mix them up.
At least if you're playing your philosophy on first down, you're pretty well sure what defense the Cowboys will be in. Here's Dickerson. Tried to slide to the outside, and Bill Bates cut him down.
Well, we talked about that with Tom Landry last night, and again, he said that he wasn't satisfied with his tackling, specifically in the secondary, so he said, I'm going to put my rookie free agent Bill Bates in there, and he said, because I know one thing, he said he'll tackle him.
He may not be the fastest guy in the world, but he'll usually find some place to make contact with someone.
Sometimes even his own guy. He runs into anyone. Anyone that has shoulder pads and helmets on, man.
And now it's third down for the Rams. They send Denard in motion. Ferragamo has some time. Michael Downs deflects the pass away from David Hill. And Misko will have to punt. It is cold and hard to hold on to the ball today. Cold in the stands, too, as you can see by the number of empty seats.
That was a good play by Michael Downs. He really made up some ground here. You see, he's playing man-to-man on Hill. See, Hill gets the position now, but Downs makes it up. You see, 1, 2, 3, boom, and he gets both hands up, both hands in there. He could have caught that ball.
Misko, good kick this time. Harry Allen. No place to go as the Rams hustle down, led by Howard Carson, who usually is there when the Rams punt. 43-yard kick. And flags on the field, way back at the line of scrimmage. So they may have to do this one again.
It's usually against the punting team. Yeah, someone left early. Of course, the rule is that when the ball is snapped, the 2 outside men can leave. They can go down. Everyone else has to wait until the ball's kicked. Usually when you see this type of penalty, someone other than the 2 outside guys left before the ball was kicked.
Gordon McCarter.
Ineligible downfield. Number 54, kicking team, repeats 4th down.
Ferragamo started off red hot, hit his first 5. Since then, he's 1 out of the last 6. Misko back to kick again. Allen standing back at his own 35. This one, not as good a kick. Allen has it bounce, and it goes out of bounds at the Dallas 35, where the Cowboys will take over. 37-yard punt, no return, so that's the net. Rams 7, Dallas nothing. So far, it hasn't been a very happy rushing day for Tony Dorsett. 5 carries, 11 yards. And look at the record when he rushes for less than 100 yards. So, as John Madden pointed out at the beginning of the broadcast, running the ball is extremely important to both these teams. Rams lead it 7-0. Dorsett, the lone setback. Right, look right, now goes left. Tony Hill shakes 1 tackle. Gets only about 4 yards up to the 40. Leroy Urban back in action, comes up to make the stop. Ernie Stautner doing some chalkboard work.
What he's doing is showing his guys how he wants them to rush. You see the blitz. He's showing that 4-man thing. He said the next passing down, see, we're going to go here, you go here. Ernie's getting a lot of guys going in there. He hasn't showed the players yet. Ernie, you only got 11. You send 8, you got to come to...
He lost all of his players.
He couldn't find any players.
He's got to get their attention.
You got some good ideas, no players.
2nd and 6. That was Hill in motion and White to throw. Pumps, goes deep. Joe Pearson dives. Can't come up with it. Johnny Johnson back there with him. Along with Eric Harris.
I think this is the thing the Cowboys have to do, though, because we're talking about stretching out the defense, and I was just getting that feeling that pretty soon they have to go deep. You see, Johnny Johnson made a heck of a jump on that ball and came across and got it, but I think you have to throw that thing up the field. You know, make those Rams defenders get off, because they're starting to tighten up on the Cowboys a little.
Up the field is the key. 3rd and 6. 10:20 left in the first half, with the Rams still holding that 1 touchdown lead. From the Dallas spread, Donnelly was the man in motion. White has time. He had Butch Johnson. Butch had a crack at it and couldn't hold it. Leroy Irvin was the nearest Ram, but Johnson was open. Now Starkner has an audience.
Hey, he has his players. See, and he has the defensive backs in there. That's Dennis Thurman, 32. He's watching. He probably has a play where he's going to blitz sometime in there.
He's been known to do that, although they don't like to discuss it.
They don't like to admit that they blitz. But that's one thing this Cowboy defense over the years is doing more and more.
So Danny White back to punt. Henry Ellard back deep for the Rams. Didn't get it all. It's out of bounds, and the Rams will have it in pretty good shape. Ball goes out of bounds at about their own 35-yard line, it appears. And you can hear a few boos for Danny White. A 24-yard punt.
The punters are having a tough day.
7-0, Rams over Dallas. The Rams 7, Dallas nothing. Second quarter with 10:08 remaining in the first half. Preston Denard out wide to the right to the left, beg your pardon. Eric Dickerson. That's Hill in motion. Dickerson comes out of the backfield, and Ferragamo throws in that direction. Anthony Dickerson says hello.
Well, that was one of the things that John Robinson was telling us. You know, one, that we want to pass on first down, and two, that they want to get Eric Dickerson a little more involved in the passing game. These types of things. He said, if we can get him out there in the open field, he said, the Cowboys really aren't tackling well. He said, we may get a big play, something like that. Of course, first of all, he has to beat Anthony Dickerson.
Right. It would be hard to imagine how he can get him much more involved in the Ram attack than he already is. Dickerson, as the Rams' David Hill tried to trap Randy White, and White slipped inside.
Look at Randy White. He was probably just waiting there for Hill. He says, they aren't going to trap me. I don't care where they come from. Let the guards come, tackles, let the tight ends come. Watch him. Here's Randy White here, 54. He sees the guard pull, so he knows he's not going to get him. He just collapsed Hill on that play. He made his knees buckle. Whoa.
That's not a very safe place for a tight end.
The guard tried to influence him. He just said, hey, you aren't tricking me. Whoa, back.
No flags. Ferragamo under heavy pressure from Clinkscale, and that's what Ernie Starkner was diagramming a minute ago.
That's right. That's what we saw Ernie Starkner talking about. We knew it was a blitzing play because he had a lot more. There's just 4 guys on that rush. He finally got his little group together and showed it to him, and it worked pretty well.
And finally got the message across. Gary Allen back deep for Dallas. Misko to punt for the Rams. Allen at his own 31. Stays on his feet momentarily, gets out to about the 33, but again, the Rams are down quickly and in good shape. Ivory Sully was the first man to make contact. That's a 40-yard punt.
Let's just see if we can see Clinkscale. Here he is, right here. Now watch him as he comes. See, he's in there and he's waiting there. He's watching the ball. He comes right between the guard and tackle turns out. Guard blocks in. No one blocks Clinkscale.
That's twice they've worked that same blitz.
Clinkscale likes it.
Yeah. Nobody touches him. He has a clear shot at Ferragamo. Dallas with the ball at their own 30. White back to Dorsett behind Donovan. Johnny Johnson takes 20 out of bounds. Very close to first down yardage. Good block up front by Tony Hill.
anytime you ever see a long run, a wide receiver is always going to make a block. Now watch Tony Hill. He flattens a linebacker, George Andrews, right there. Andrews didn't expect it. He's standing there. He's looking in the backfield, and boom, up from his right ear hole comes Tony Hill.
Wide receiver is not supposed to block like that.
Oh, I know it. George Andrews saying, hey, where'd that guy come from? I'm looking inside at those guys' block. That comes outside.
Check that number. 9:02 left to play in the first half. Dallas with the ball, their own 40. 7-0 Rams lead. Dorsett the lone setback. Dorsett again. Nothing doing this time. He is popped by Reggie Doss.
That was one of those things that, Tony Dorsett likes to get in there and do that little delay until the blocking develops. He came off that delay, and boom, there's Reggie Doss waiting for him. Watch it here, the right side of the screen, number 71, Doss. Look, he starts out, now he sees him. Watch that, he's taking on 2 blockers, and he meets him square.
Tough to dance with a guy like Reggie Doss looking at you.
You got to dance around to him. You don't dance into him.
No. On second down, White is back to throw. Tony Hill hangs on for the Cowboy first down in Ram territory at their 49, 12 yards.
He's out there on Leroy Irvin. Now, a veteran like Tony Hill knows how much he has to go for first down. Now, watch him. He's going to get up beyond this second red marker. You see it there? Then he's going to stop. Sell him that he's coming deep. Now work back, catch the ball right there, right in front of the markers. He knows he gets his feet down, so he knows he has the first down.
First down at the Ram 49. On first down, White back to throw. A lot of time. Threw behind Cosby. Carl Eckern got the hand on it for the Rams. White with good protection, couldn't find anybody.
Well, he looked out to the left, and he was waiting for Cosby to do something. He's waiting for him to either escape and keep going across or work back to the other side. And I don't think Doug Cosby did either one, so he threw it to Eckern.
The yards rushing. The Rams 47, Dallas 25. Neither one spectacular by any means. 7:40 left to play in the first half. Butch Johnson in motion. That's Dorsett. 2 yards and nothing more doing than that. Jim Collins led the Ram defense. Oh, you look at that field now, John, and remember what it looked like yesterday with the ice and snow all over it. They did one whale of a job to get this thing in shape like this.
They did a heck of a job, and I hate artificial turf. I really do, but you have to admit that's one thing. When they get the bad weather, they can get it, and you can play in bad weather on this stuff. Look, they even got snow and ice and stuff on the sideline, man, in Dallas. Who would have thunk it?
That's blue, though.
Blue ice.
On third down, White out of the shotgun. Nope, it's Drew Pearson. The Rams had him surrounded. But again, that's a ball that on a warm day I'm sure would have been caught.
I'll tell you, with that swarming Ram defense, so you don't know, I'll tell you, they're all over the field. And the minute that ball gets there, that drew a whole bunch of blue jerseys. Watch it here. Watch him. Here it comes. Now watch these guys come. There's Andrews right there. Boom. There's Irvin right there. They get him from the front and back, the old sandwich deal, bunch of them around it.
Andrews, another one of those guys who will hit you if you walk by close. White back at his own 40. Good high hanging kick this time, and Johnny Johnson handles it at his own 13. Henry Ellard, I'm sorry, not Johnson. 32 punts. 32-yard punt, 32-yard net. If Dallas wins Saturday, the NFL day will begin it. It'll be Detroit at Washington at noon Eastern time, and Sunday the 49ers. Repeat performance of the Cowboys' visit of last week to Candlestick. If the Rams win, it'll be Detroit at San Francisco late on Saturday, and then Sunday the Rams at Washington starting at 12 noon Eastern time. That's where we'll be. Dickerson behind Gooman. Chased by White. Dickerson ran first down. 12-yard pickup. Everson Walls made the stop.
Tom Landry said he liked that Eric Dickerson when he was playing down here at SMU. He said, I knew he was going to be special. He said, I also knew we'd never get him. Gooman goes in motion. He just stays back. He gets the flit. Now watch how he gets his shoulder square and turn. He makes that move out, cuts inside of this block right here, runs right into the block right there, just keeps going.
Banged into the back of Farmer. 8 carries, 57 yards, though. Not bad.
Those goggles may be frosted up. He didn't see that one.
They go on a quick count. They caught the Cowboys while they were flexing. But it's Anthony Dickerson and Randy White who converged to bring them down.
That's one of the things that they wanted to do, you know, is go on the quick count, go right now while the Cowboys are moving. But I'll tell you, they played it pretty well. Watch big Randy White there. He just takes on Kent Hill, works right down the line, puts one shoulder up, and then a fist in the face. Whoa!
A club to the side of the head.
Randy White, he's one of those guys that comes to get some action.
2nd and 9. Rams operating from their own 26. 5:20 left to play in the first half. And Ferragamo will throw. Goes deep for Farmer, and it's knocked away. Clinkscale and Downs really hammered Farmer.
I'll tell you, both of these secondaries are physical today. You can tell a difference in the intensity in playoff. I mean, look at this. I mean, guys are swinging arms, bodies flying, pass rush, pass protection.
So Dallas in that situation that they really enjoy so much. Most teams would, I guess. 3rd and long.
Let's see if they blitz Dexter Clinkscale again and don't block him. That's been a pretty good defensive play for him today.
Clinkscale is back deep this time, at least so far, number 47.
He's getting ready to sneak up. Yeah, there he
Here
comes.
he comes. Here he comes. And they didn't pick him up again. Ferragamo got the ball out to Preston Denard, and I think he got close enough to get the Ram first down.
Ferragamo's pass complete to Preston Denard, number 88.
I'll tell you, I think you see him. He started back here. Here he is in the left of the picture. He just comes straight up again between the guard and the tackle. That's the 3rd time that they've done that. The 3rd time that the Rams haven't picked it up. Although Ferragamo got rid of the ball.
Got rid of it quickly, and they got a first down. Ernie Stautner over on the sideline.
Dexter Clinkscale saying, Coach, it still works. Still a good one.
They haven't blocked me yet. First down Rams, their own 36. They still lead 7-0. Back to Dickerson. Eric Dickerson for about 3. Bill Bates, John Dutton.
I'll tell you, I can see why Dickerson wears all that equipment. You know, we were talking to him last night, and he says everything they have in that equipment room, he said, I'm going to put on. But I mean, he plays so tough. He doesn't, run out of bounds and that. But I mean, he has the helmet, the goggles, the big mouthpiece there, the thing behind his neck. He said underneath the shoulder pads, they're reinforced, elbow pads, wrist, the biggest hip pads you can get, the biggest thigh pads.
And he's still fast.
Yeah.
And he's still big. 6'3" and 230. Here's Ferragamo outside quickly to Farmer. He's out of bounds by Walls. But it'll be a Ram first down.
He said when he was in college, he said he had real big hip pads, that would come up outside the pants. And he said he wanted to wear those. And they said, no, you can't do that in the NFL. You have to have all your pads inside jerseys.
Inside the shirt. 11 carries, 62 yards for Dickerson. The Rams first down at their own 47 with 4:21 left to play. Barry Redden now has replaced Dickerson. He's averaging 5 yards a carry. They try to go on quick counts again. Redden by Harvey Martin and Anthony Dickerson. He got 1.5, maybe 2.
Barry Redden on the carry. He was hit first by Anthony Dickerson.
Harvey Martin did a nice job of containing that. He got up the field to the outside so that Dickerson had to cut back in, and that's where Anthony Dickerson was.
Maybe he only got a yard. Harvey Martin, who's another of the Cowboys, has had a frustrating year, been under some criticism, but the last few weeks seems to have quieted much of that down. 2nd down and 9. Ferragamo back to throw. Pass is caught. Walls on George Farmer. Just shy of a first down, it appears. There are the Heaters over on the sideline.
You know, they have a rule. Yeah, excuse me, Pat, but they have a rule in the NFL that if you use heaters or anything on your sideline, you have to also give them to the other team. So there are 4 heaters on each side.
Not all the teams necessarily use them, but they have to be made available. 3rd down and short. 3rd and 1. Look at the total yards so far. 149 to 78. Edge Rams. Somebody jumped offside. Dickerson goes to the outside. It appeared to be John Dutton. Dickerson 6'3.5", 6'4", and 230 pounds, and still very quick.
Contact foul, defense.
Defense, number 78, John Dutton.
Yep, here it is right here. We'll see John Dutton move right there. You see right over the ball. Watch him right there. See, he encroaches into neutral zone right there. They blow the whistle, so the play won't count, but it will give the Rams a first down.
Inside the Dallas 40, 39-yard line. Again, if you joined us late, among the many problems they've had here because of the unusually cold weather is that the public address system is out. And several pipes break overnight. 3 or 4 inches of water in our area when we first got here. Unusual formation. Dickerson right up close. Ferragamo. Farmer, the intended receiver. Walls back there with him. No flag.
Walls defending on the play.
I think the reason he was up there like that, Pat, is they probably anticipated some type of blitz, and they wanted maximum protection, so they put Dickerson right up by the line.
Dallas now not in their 4-0 defense with all the extra defensive backs on 2nd and long. They're going to stay with the regular defense. Walls looking over at the bench talking to somebody. 2nd and 10. Rams at the Cowboy 39. Rams timeout. You never really realize how much you miss the public address system until you don't have one, do you? They're using a portable apparatus right now, but it's not the same. 7-0. Eric Dickerson, 10 rushes, 62 yards. He averaged 4.6 in his tough, long year carrying the ball so much. So he's well over that figure.
Here's old Santa Claus. He had a big day yesterday, I guess. Got everything delivered, got everyone happy. So he comes to the game today.
Did he pay a visit to you?
No, I missed him.
I did too.
He didn't know where we were.
2nd and 10. Back to Dickerson. He's got some room. Bob Bruning out to trip him up with some help from Bates, but Dickerson got about 6 more. He does have that great speed.
You know, it's really something. In his first year, he rushes for over 1,800 yards. He makes the Pro Bowl, and he was saying, you know, it'd be nice when it's over, though. I'd like to go home. You know, it's really something for a college player to come out his first year. He's already played over 20 games. You know, and the college season is 10 games, and about, 10, 11, 12 games. He said, hey, my body says I ought to be playing basketball or something. And the coach tells you, you still got another 8 or 10 to go.
Yeah, a lot of time left. 2-minute warning will come up before the Rams can engineer another play. They're in Dallas territory, almost in field goal range. They already lead 7-0. Pat Summerall, John Madden, Texas Stadium. 2 minutes to go first half with the Rams leading 7-0. 3rd down at the 33. They need 4 for a first, and checking down by the Ram bench, Lansford, their place kicker. In spite of the cold weather, Doesn't have a shoe on. Well, he does. If you call that a shoe, now that warming boot is off. Back to Dickerson. Didn't get the first down. Bob Bruni having one of his best days. And Michael Downs converge. Here is Lansford. Beat New Orleans last week. That field goal and put the Rams in the playoffs.
Well, I think the Rams just decided they're going for it on 4th down. John Robinson said this is the playoffs. We're not going to kick the field goal.
How about it?
He sent Lansford back to that big boot that he got on and says, let's go for it. Then Eric Dickerson takes it.
82 yards and a long 2 yards.
Play pass.
Back to Dickerson. Back to David Hill. He won't get the first down. He didn't get it. Anthony Dickerson and Dennis Thurman stop him short of the first down, and the Cowboys take over.
John Robinson said to Dickerson, nice pass. But just they want him to make him think run. So he starts out there, stops, throws back across to David Hill, but it didn't fool Dennis Thurman. Thurman's the guy that made the big play, because had he not come up, David Hill would have been able to take that thing up the field and outside. That was a very alert play by Dennis Thurman.
It seems that the playoffs bring out the best in Dennis Thurman. First down, Cowboys, their own 30. White out of the spread. That's to Newsom, and Newsom rumbles for a first down at the 45. A 15-yard pickup. Mel Owens made the hit on Timmy Newsom.
Isn't it something how that 4th down works? You know, we saw in the Redskins game with the Cowboys, the Redskins go for it. Boom, they don't make it. The Cowboys go in and score. The Cowboys later go for it. They don't make it. That really destroyed them. They lost the game. And now here the Rams go for it, and it looks like it may give the Cowboys some new life. They come in, get in a spread formation. Boom, he finds Springs in there, hits him, picks up a first down, takes a timeout. Right now they're thinking of getting in position to kick a field goal. And after they get that, then they can go for the touchdown.
Both teams, by the way, have 2 timeouts remaining. Dallas just took their first one. 58 seconds left to go in the first half. Rams took the opening kickoff and drove 85 yards. Touchdown pass from Vince Ferragamo to David Hill. And that's been all the scoring. Here's Rafael Septien. Like he's got a sneaker on his left foot.
Of course, they always wear something different. You know, the left foot is the plant foot. That's the foot that has to give them, you know, stop the movement. And then the right foot, of course, their kicking foot.
There's a very good-looking kicking cage over there. It's blue, too. A lot of conveniences. From the spread again, 58 seconds left to play first half. Rafferty snapped to White is good. Blitz is on. White steps up, throws outside. In the direction of Drew Pearson, incomplete. He just threw that one away. Nobody open.
For number 88, Drew Pearson.
You know, we're talking about that 4th down thing. I think it's good. Doggone it, it's easy to second guess. If it doesn't work, say, oh, they shouldn't have done it, and that's the reason. But if you believe something, you think you have a play, you think you can do it and turn this game around, you know, and maybe put it away and, you know, start playing that type of thing. Sometimes that'll pick up your team. Hey, the coach believes in us.
And that could have possibly put it away if they did make it.
Right, and then, you know, if it doesn't, I don't think you can second-guess those things. Say, they shouldn't have done it. Baloney. Live with what you do.
Again, spread formation, the Rams blitz. Tony Hill gets both feet down and hops out of bounds. At the Ram 43, 16-yard gain. Eric Harris, the defender.
When you don't make it, it does give the other team some life. Watch Tony Hill out here again. He's going to run an out pattern. He knows where the first down marker is. A little move. Looks like Johnny Johnson fell or slipped. Tony Hill just waited, kept both feet in bounds, then goes out, stops the clock, and gets the first down.
Still 47 seconds left to play in the first half. Dallas at the Ram 44. Los Angeles leading 7-0 still.
Cowboys need about one more first down, and they'll be in field goal range.
Right to Springs, and he hangs on this time. Springs to about the Ram 37. Carl Eckern with the hit. Clock still running. They do not take a timeout. They still have 2 left. They line up quickly in their spread formation. Hill to the Ram 15. Eric Harris tripped him up. The crowd's starting to get a little bit warmer.
Now the Cowboys take their timeout. Now they've been working outside, been going outside to Tony Hill, and now they said, let's drive him up. Instead of making an outside move, let's go to the inside. Again, the Rams are playing deep. Johnny Johnson, number 20, slipped again, the 2nd time in a row, and that time it was an inside play. Now the Cowboys, now they have their field goal. Now they have 1 timeout left after this one. Now they'll go to the end zone for the touchdown.
Raphael Septien over on the sideline, and coming up at the half, the NFL Today with Brent Musburger with Dick Vermeil on the first half highlights of this contest. But still 21 seconds remaining left to play in the first half. 1st and 10 Cowboys at the Ram 14. Danny White has had his visit with Tom Landry. 12 out of 20 he is for 117 yards. This is the deepest the Cowboys have been into Los Angeles territory all day. And a very concerned John Robinson. I wonder if he had a chance to go for that first down again, he'd change his mind.
Under the same circumstance, he'd probably go for it again. But now, knowing now that it wasn't going to work, what he knows now, he wouldn't have.
Right. That's our luxury, isn't it? White, Hill, touchdown. What a throw by Danny White. You talk about threading the needle. Tony Hill's 7th catch already. Raphael Septien with Glenn Carano holding. Rafferty is the center. Septien is good. We have a tie.
Danny White really did zip that thing. It starts off here, good pass protection. Get the nose tackle. Now he can step up. He reads it. Boom, right in between 3 guys. He drilled that thing in there. Here it is again. Here's Eric Harris. He's the outside man. You see, he's starting to work inside, and that ball is zipped right where no one can do anything about it. Good Tom Landry on that. He says, finally, something good is going to happen. I'm going to jump up a little. I'll show you some emotion. You want emotion? There is some emotion. I'll give you a little
Really
jump.
wasn't it? That wasn't much of a jump.
For Tom, it was a good
Yeah,
jump.
I guess it was. 70 yards, 6 plays. They kept it 51 seconds. Here's Danny White. 21 attempts, 13 completions. And Septien kicks off in the direction of Henry Ellard. Taken down by Bill Bates. Don't forget, over on the other side of Dallas, come January the 2nd here on CBS, the Cotton Bowl, where it'll be undefeated Texas against once beaten Georgia. Of course, the Longhorns still have hopes of a national title. But don't underestimate Georgia. That'll come your way on CBS on January the 2nd. Cowboys with a 3-man line, and Ferragamo just kneels, and they'll run it out and head to the locker room with a 7-7 tie. John Robinson headed for his locker room, and Tom Landry strolling in that same direction. Don't forget, coming up, Brent Musburger and Dick Vermeil on the NFL Today, and at Texas Stadium, frigid Texas Stadium, it is still 7-7.
Musburger with Dick Vermeil. Low-scoring game so far, 7-all at the half. And, Dick, what a difference in coaching philosophies along the sideline. John Robinson marches up and down like he's a chairman of the board over there.
Well, he has an offensive coordinator calling the offense and a defensive coordinator calling the defense, while on the other side of the field, Tom Landry calls all the offense, and a defensive coach calls all the defense.
How about Jimmy Ray, who's calling the plays for the Rams? His background, Dick, what does he bring to the game now for Robinson?
Well, he was at Atlanta and did a very good job there for Lehman Bennett. And he's doing a good job in redesigning the Ram offense and with the one-back attack that we've seen here in the first half. And he's really having fun with it. I've talked to him a few times this year when we broadcast their football games, and he's really having fun with it, and he really is really thankful for the opportunity to direct an offense.
Good call for a Ram touchdown. Let's take a look at it.
Very
David Hill. This was a play the Cowboys didn't expect to see.
You see him came across in motion there, and David Hill goes to the corner, the right-hand corner of your screen. He lays it up there nicely, sort of a meet me at the corner type thing, and a defensive back might have blown the coverage in this due to the motion. It's really hard to tell from the replay.
David, of course, is the brother of Jim Hill, who works for CBS Sports, not only in Los Angeles, but here with the network. Big problem for the Cowboys, Dick, has been hanging on to the football. Let's take a look at their major problem.
4 drop balls. Here's Bush Johnson dropping one on a key third-down situation. If you're going to keep the ball moving and score more than 7 points, you're going to have to make those catches. That's all there is to it, Brent.
Now, we come to another 4th down situation. What is it about this season? Joe Gibbs, Tom Landry. This was a long 4th and 2. In fairness to Coach Robinson, it would have been a long field goal for Lansford. But how do you look at what Robinson faced in that situation?
Well, it's easy to criticize and analyze sitting here. I say this basically. The overall approach is if you have control of the ball game physically and emotionally, don't do anything that would give them an edge either physically or emotionally before you come in at half, and it backfired on them right here.
What I want to know about this play is there was a man open in the middle, Dick. Do you think he had an option, or did he simply have to throw it back?
I think when you have a running back throw the ball back on a surprise gimmick play just like this one, you're throwing to a designated receiver.
All right, now the one man who has held on to the ball today is Tony Hill, and here he goes for the score.
He's been super. He comes down here to the right-hand corner of your screen. He runs a little post pattern, coming inside right there on Eric Harris for the touchdown. Dallas loves that play. They probably run that post pattern better than anybody in football, and they probably run it more than anybody in football.
All right, we'll take a look at what might occur in the second half as we continue with the NFL Today on CBS right after these messages from your local stations. As coach of the Rams, he served very briefly as vice president in charge of alumni affairs at USC. So it certainly was not surprising that when he suddenly needed a person to center the ball for punts, he checked the USC alumni directory, and he made a snap decision to round up one of his old Trojans, Mike McDonald.
When we lost our center this last week, you look around for guys that can snap, and there aren't a lot of them on the street that can do that and are proven that they can do it, and he's one of them, so we called him.
He said our center took a knee, and we may need you. Come down and see if you still got it. I said, okay. Ready, John? Yeah.
Now, McDonald was the long snapper for 4 years at USC, but he last tasted action in the '80 Rose Bowl game, and then John called.
We sell insurance, but right now my insureds are going to have to take a couple of weeks off and not get any accidents because their agent won't be around. I was also trying to get on the Glendale Fire Department, but the portals are going to have to wait for a while.
And right now, it's the Rams who have an emergency, and McDonald to the rescue.
It's everybody's dream to play pro football. I mean, every little kid that's grown up has played Pop Warner football, high school football, all the awards you get. You know, it's a dream come true, like you say. It's unbelievable.
And here is the dream come true this afternoon for number 63. His long snaps have been right on the mark. Perfect so far. And you know what he gets paid for this today, folks? Even if the Rams lose, he's guaranteed a check of $8,000. Listen, how difficult is it to find someone who can snap the ball on punts and field goals?
You know, it's amazing, Brent, because your centers aren't all drafted out of college football or signed as free agents, and then all of a sudden you're drafting the right guard and all these guys, but they weren't the long snappers. And you get into a pro training camp, and it's amazing how many times you get a distress call from a training camp across country. Hey, we don't have a long snapper other than the person that we had doing it last year. Do you know where a guy is? It's amazing how many times that happens.
Let's focus now on what might happen in the second half. Let's check in on Eric Dickerson, his style, what he's done against the Cowboy defense so far.
He's done real well going outside. He's a great ricochet runner. See him bounce off and get to the outside now. The offensive line has done a good job of stick and stay, and he has that good ability to accelerate, make people miss, and get on the perimeter of the defense, and a nice run. He does it again, though, coming back the outside here to the left, and I think they'd be better off through the second half of staying outside with him in the ball. Here he is tossing the ball to the right of the screen now, to his left. Nice blocks right there by Bill Bain on Martin, and he had him hooked, and he overran the play, and he cuts back up in that nice hole. Does a real good job. He's tackled from behind.
Dick, I think it was Paul Zimmerman at Sports Illustrated who made the great observation that of all the great running backs, this fella, Dickerson, probably catches the ball coming out of the backfield better than any of them.
You know, you watch him, you see those glasses on underneath the face mask, and you don't think he could see the football, but he knows where it is at all times. Then he has the nice soft hands.
I thought the Cowboys in this next sequence were able to confuse Ferragamo with a blitz from one direction. He hasn't been picking it up.
Well, they got him to the blind side. He did not see it coming. See the left corner of your screen, you can see Clinkscale coming right in there right now, and it's the quarterback's job on the overload blitz situation to handle that problem by getting rid of it, because he's the one guy that can see it.
And, of course, the stat that John Madden and Pat Summerall keep talking about is Tony Dorsett is having a very poor game here. In fact, he's had 3 bad games together.
3 in a row. The last 2 ball games, he's had a hard time. He's having a hard time right here. They're having a tough time, as John said during the ball game, of blocking the nose guard. And he's coming inside out and making the play. In that case, it was Charles DeJournay, number 70. And you've got to block the nose guard if you're going to run the ball against that 30 defense.
But, you know, momentum seems to have changed, if we can use that cliche. After the 4th and 2, the Cowboys come down and tie it. The crowd is picked up in Texas Stadium. Do you think the Cowboys now will take charge of the game, Coach?
Well, I think there's 2 good football teams playing out there. I would say that the Dallas Cowboys have the advantage coming into the second half, based on their playoff experience, based on Danny White being under the fire in the second half, and Dallas is a better second half football team. I'd have to give the advantages to Dallas.
Of course, San Francisco, they would probably be pulling for the Cowboys to lose. They would draw Detroit next week rather than Dallas. Dallas going to San Francisco a little angry, wouldn't they?
Yeah, you know, they've already motivated them for that ball game. I think if I were Bill Walsh in San Francisco, I'd rather play Detroit.
Washington sits and waits. Does that hurt a team? They don't know who they're going to be playing, or do they just simply need the rest? They're so good.
I think the team that gets the rest has the real advantage. Yeah, I mean, it makes a difference of night and day in your football, the team's quickness, heck, your coaching staff's freshness in approach, and they had some time with their families, and they're all of a sudden starting a new season with the rest, and I think that's a big advantage.